Hello children, today we have to start Merchant of Venice explanation, Act 1, Scene 1. I hope you have seen the movie link that I had sent and you have seen the movie and also learnt the explanation that I gave you in the previous video. Okay, that will help you to understand this play in easier way. So today we shall start Act 1 Scene 1 explanation, and before this we have to once see the characters, that who all are the characters in this scene. Okay, in this scene, not in this scene but in this play. I'll introduce you with the characters. Now here you can see on page number 20 characters in the play. So the Duke of Venice is there, the Duke of Venice, and then the Prince of Morocco and the Prince of Aragon. Now, who are these? Prince of Morocco and the Prince of Aragon? They are the suitors to Portia. Then third one, next one is Antonio. Now, Antonio is the main character of this play, around whom the whole play revolves. So, Antonio is a merchant of Venice. That is on his this character's name only. The title of the play is given A Merchant of Venice. Now, who is the Merchant of Venice in this play? Antonio. And then next character is Bassanio, his best friend and suitor to Portia. Okay, that Bassanio is whose best friend? Antonio's best friend, and he is also a suitor to Portia, and Bassanio is the only one person who wins the casket system. You would have read that. And then next character is Graciano. Now, who is Graciano? Another friend in love with Nerissa. Now, who's another friend? Antonio's another friend, and Graciano is another friend of Antonio, and he is in love with Nerissa. And who is Nerissa? That Nerissa is maid to Portia. Then next one is Lorenzo. Lorenzo is another friend and he is in love with Jessica. Okay, Lorenzo is another friend of Antonio and he falls in love with Jessica. And who is Jessica? Jessica is a Jewess in this play. Okay, like Jews are there, same way as she is a female, so she is called Jewess, and she is a Jewess in the play, Jessica, and she is daughter of Shylock. Okay, then Leonardo. Now, who is Leonardo? Servant to Bassanio. Then next, Salanio, and Salario. So these all are the other friends of Antonio. Then next one is a rich Shylock, a rich Jew and a money lender. Now, who is a Shylock? As we can say that he is a villain of this play, and he is one of a rich Jew and he is a money lender. Then next is Jessica. Now, who is Jessica? Jessica is Shylock's daughter, as I told you, and she falls in love with falls in love with, yes, Graciano. No, sorry, Lorenzo. And then next one is Tubal, another Jew. Now, who is Tubal? Tubal is another Jew. Now, who was the first Jew? Shylock. And here, Jessica is Shylock's daughter, and Tubal is another Jew, Shylock's friend. Then next one is Launcelot Gobbo. Launcelot Gobbo is a clown. He is servant to Shylock. And old Gobbo is Launcelot's father. Portia and Hyaris of Belmont. We can say that Portia is heroine of this play. She is an Hyaris of Belmont. And then next one, Nerissa. So Portia and Hyaris of Belmont. Now, who is an Hyaris? Hyaris means that is a girl whose parents are no more alive, and after the parents' death, all their property has been transferred to the daughter. Okay, so Portia, she was the only daughter of her mother and father. So here, after the death of her parents, all her property, all the wealth of theirs transferred to her, and she became an heiress of Belmont. And then Nerissa, her lady in waiting, that is, we can say that she was all the time with her only, she remains all the time with her in this play, and she is her lady in waiting. We can say she is maid to Portia. Then Balthazar and Stefano, here they both are servants to Portia. Now here, and the other characters who are there in the play are merchants, officers of the court of justice, jailer, musicians, servants to Portia, and other attendants. Okay, now once again, very fast, just I will recap this characters in the play: the Duke of Venice, then the Prince of Morocco, and the Prince of Aragon. They both are suitors to Portia. That is, suitors to Portia means that they come into the act in order to make choice of the casket there in Belmont in Portia's house. And then Antonio is a rich merchant of Venice, and Bassanio his best friend suited to Portia. Now Antonio is a Christian. Okay, like Shylock is given that he is a Jew and his daughter is Jewish, and Tubal is also a Jew. So same way, Antonio, Bassanio, Bresciano, Lorenzo, Lorendo, Leonardo, and Salarino, and Salario. They all are Christians. Okay. Now, Bassanio, his best friend, suited to Portia, another friend in love with Nerissa. Then Lorenzo, he is another friend of Antonio and he is in love with Jessica. Leonardo is servant to Bassanio, and Salanio, and Salario, they are other friends of Antonio. And Shylock, he is villain of this play and he is a rich Jew and a money lender. Then Jessica is Shylock's daughter. Tubal is another Jew, Shylock's friend. Lancelot Gobbo is a clown, servant to Shylock. And old Gobbo is Lancelot's father. And Portia and Hyaris of Belmont, Nerissa, her lady in waiting, and Balthazar and Stefano, they are servants to Portia. Then merchants, officers of the court of justice, jailer, musicians, servants to Portia, and other attendants are there in the play. Now we shall start the explanation of Act 1, Scene 1. Once you are introduced with these characters of the play, now we have to start that explanation. Now here you can see, now you can see here some few things are there that you have to keep in mind. Whenever you study Merchant of Venice, whenever you have to listen to the explanation, so the best thing is that you should keep always one pencil with you. Okay, keep book and listen the explanation very clearly, and whatever explanation is given to you, okay, that is not in written with me someone, but just I will translate that Shakespeare English into your British English, and you have to understand it, and accordingly you have to write the answers in the workbook. Okay, so I will go very slowly and I will explain line by line, word to word, so you have to keep that in mind. Now few things that you have to keep in mind, as Shakespeare is first time for you in the course, so you have to keep few things in the mind, that what all things are there. You let me tell you first and then we shall start explanation. Now what is given here, like this first paragraph that is given in the beginning of all the scenes. Now in this, what is given, that what actually you are going to study in whole scene, so that is given in your British English in order to tell you that what are the things you are going to study in this scene. Okay, that is, we can say in brief, whole scenes explanation is given. Understood? And then, so first of all I will explain you this, that what are the things you are going to study in this scene, and then I will come on this part. Okay, and here you have to keep in mind that explanation, that whatever is given in this part, just a minute, whatever is given in this part, that is in the Shakespeare language, so that is divided into lines. Okay, like here you can see 5 is written and then here 10 is written. So same way, after every 5 5 5 5, that all that complete scene is divided in that way only. That is 5 lines, then 15, then 25, then 30, 35, 40, 45. So in this way, line numbers are given. Okay, and it will help you to understand, to find out the meanings. Okay, that is given on the other side. You can see that other side what is given, 1 2 3 4, like here it is numberings are given. That means these words meanings which are given, so that is given from this line number. Okay, so this marking 5 10 15 20 25 in this way, the complete scene is given in order to help you to know, okay, this is line number 1. So 1 to 5 counting is very easy, but if this 5 or 10 is not given, then what will happen? It will be problem for you to, you will have to count the line, that from which line number meanings are given. So you have to keep in mind that when you listen to the explanation, so you have to also look for the meanings which are given in right hand side. Okay, it is very helpful for you. Now we shall start the explanation. At first, the brief that is given. Brief means this part. Okay, now here what is given. So take book in with you and have pencil with you. Keep on underlining the difficult words, and you can also go through the dictionary for the meanings of the difficult words. Now here what is given. The opening scene gives the exposition, the situation on which the story is based. We are introduced to Antonio, the merchant, who gives the title to the drama. Now, what is given? That the opening scene gives the exposition. That is the opening scene, Act 1, Scene 1. Okay, that in this scene, as we will study, so that gives the exposition. Exposition means that is the settings. Okay, that the setting of the play, what is there? So that is given here. So the opening scene gives the exposition, the situation on which the story is based, and we are introduced to Antonio, and in the beginning only we are introduced to Antonio. And who is Antonio? Antonio is a merchant of Venice, and who gives the title to the drama. Okay, that as we can say, the title to this play is the Merchant of Venice. Now, who is Merchant of Venice in the play? It is Antonio only. Then, interest is heightened by showing him in melancholic mood. Now, what is given? That the interest is heightened. Interest is heightened by showing him in melancholic mood. Melancholy means sad, gloomy. Okay, so in the beginning itself, we find that Antonio is very sad. Okay, he is very sad, and that's why curiosity increases, interest increases of the readers, in order to find out, in order to know that why the main character of the play is sad in the beginning itself. Then Salarino and Salanio, his friends. Now, as we read in the characters of the play, that Salarino and Salanio are his friends. So Salarino and Salanio, his friends, give various reasons for his sadness and try to bring him out of it. So in the beginning, in this first scene, who all are there? That Antonio is there, Salarino is there, and Salanio is there. So we will find that they are trying to give various reasons in order to find out what actually is the reason behind Antonio's sadness, and try to bring him out of it. And they are trying to make their friend Antonio happy. They want that Antonio may become happy and cheerful. So, Bassanio, the closest friend of Antonio, asks for a loan from him in order to present himself as an eligible suitor to Portia. So, what we will see in the scene, that once there was conversation between Antonio, Salarino and Salanio, then who enters into the scene? Bassanio. Okay, and Bassanio is one of the dear friend of Antonio, and he is one of the closest friend of Antonio. And as he comes, so he asks for a loan from Antonio in order to present himself as an eligible suitor to Portia. rich heiress of Belmont. That is, Portia is there, and where does she live? She live in Belmont, and she is a very rich heiress. So he wants to present himself a as a good suitor. Okay, that he wants to present himself before uh, Portia in a better way. So but he doesn't have ready cash with him, he doesn't have money with him. Bassanio doesn't have money with him because in this play he has played a role of spendthrift. Spendthrift means that is waster, or in Hindi if we say कि ऐसा आदमी जो कि अपनी कमाई से ज़्यादा खर्चा करे। ओके, पैसा ना हो लेकिन अपना खर्चा करने में कोई कमी ना करे, अपने दोस्तों से मांगे या जैसे भी अरेंज करे और वो खर्चा करे। सो दैट काइंड ऑफ नेचर, that kind of character Bassanio has played, that he is a spendthrift, that whenever he is in need of money, so he goes to his friend Antonio and fulfills his desire, whatever he wants to do. So same way he has done, he will be seen doing here also in scene 1, that he goes to Antonio because he wants to present himself as an eligible suitor to Portia, a rich heiress of Belmont. So he asks for loan from Antonio. Then Antonio's ships are still at sea. Now, Antonio's ships are still at sea. That is, Antonio doesn't have that at the time when Bassanio asks for loan from Antonio, Antonio doesn't have ready cash with him. So, his ships which are there, they are still at sea and he has no ready cash with him, but he authorizes Bassanio to use his good name for credit and get a loan from the money lenders. So what Antonio authorized to Bassanio, that he said to Bassanio that you can use my good name for credit. That is, you can go to Venice market, you seek any of the money lender, you search any of the money lender, and if he is ready to give you cash, or if he is ready to give you loan on my good name, then you can do so. So he authorizes Bassanio to use his good name in order to get credit from the market and get a loan from the money lenders. Okay, so all these things are there that we will read in this scene. Now we shall start explanation. Scene 1, Venice, a street. Enter Antonio, Salarino and Salanio. Now see what is given, that where does this scene takes place. So this scene takes place on a street in Venice. Always you should keep this in mind, that where the scene is taking place, where things are going on. So this scene takes place on a street in Venice. And which are the characters present in this scene? Antonio, Salarino and Salanio. Now who is Antonio? Antonio is a rich merchant of Venice. And who are Salarino and Salanio? They are friends of Antonio. Then, now we shall begin the explanation. Here, Antonio says, Antonio says, in sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me. You say it wearies you. But how I caught it, found it, or came by it, what stuff 'tis made of, whereof it is born, I am to learn. And such a want with sadness makes of me, that I have much ado to know myself. Now what Antonio says, that is, in sooth I know not why I am so sad. So what Antonio said, that is, in sooth. Sooth meaning, you can see on the other side also it is given. Okay, meanings of difficult words are given, so you have to refer simultaneously on the other side also. So here he says in sooth. In sooth means in truth, that is truly. I know not why I am so sad. So Antonio is saying that is truly I know not. That is, I do not know that why I am so sad. That what is reason behind my sadness, I do not know. Then he says, it varies me. You say it varies you. So Antonio says that it varies me. What varies me? that is my sadness. It varies. Varies here means that makes me feel tired. So he says that my sadness makes me feel tired, and you say it varies you. That is, and you are saying that my sadness making feel you tired. Okay, you can look other side. Point number 2 is given that it varies me. That means the sadness makes me feel tired. And then he says that you say it varies you. That is, my sadness is making you feel tired. Then but how I caught it, found it, or came by it, what stuff it is made of, whereof it is born, I am to learn. Now, what Antonio says to his friend, he says that, but how I caught it, that is, how I caught means acquired. It is given at the side, point number 3, that is, how I acquired this sadness in me and how I found it, this sadness, or how or came by it, that is how I got this sadness, what stuff it is made up of. What stuff it is made up of means that is that what is the reason behind this sadness, whereof it is born, that is from where is the what is the origin of this sadness, I am to learn. That is, I am yet to learn, that is I am yet to find out that what is the reason behind this sadness. Then he says, and such a want with sadness makes of me that I have much ado to know myself. Then what he says, and such a want with sadness. Now, want with is given other side. Sixth number, that is an absent minded fellow. Okay, an absent minded fellow. And point number 7, ado. Ado means trouble. So, you can see for the explanation 6 to 7 number, and such a want with sadness makes of me that I am much ado to know myself. So 6 to 7 number, this is given explanation that you can see. This sadness makes me so absent minded that I do not know who I am. So what Antonio says, that is this sadness which I have acquired, so that makes me so absent minded. Absent minded means that is a person who is unable to think also anything. So he says that I have become so absent minded because of this sadness that I have forgot myself as well. I have forgotten myself as well, that I do not know who I am. Understood? Now, this was first extract. Now, second speech is Salarino's. Now, what Salarino replied Antonio, what he said to Antonio, your mind is tossing on the ocean, there where you argeises with portly sail like signers and rich burghers on the flood, or as it were the pageants of the sea. Do overpeer the petty traffickers that courtesy to them, do them reverence as they fly by them with their woven wings. Now, what Salarino said, what he replied to Antonio, that your mind is tossing on the ocean. Now he was trying to trying to find out the reason behind his sadness. So Salarino said, your mind is surely tossing on the ocean. Now your mind is surely tossing on the ocean means that is your mind is surely thinking of the ocean. Okay, that you must be having surely thoughts about the sea and ocean. Why he said so? There where you argeises with portly sail, that is there in the ocean where your argeises means point number 9, you can see other side, that big commercial ships. Okay, originally Argosy is a ship to Ragosa and a port on the Adriatic near Venice. Okay, now you have to keep in mind that what is the meaning of Argais? Argais means a big commercial ship. So Saladino said that your mind would be surely thinking of the ocean where there your big commercial ships with portly sail. That is, portly means it is given at the side. Point number 9, that means stately. Okay, sail where your big commercial ships are sailing in like Cygnus and rich burghers on the flood. Okay, point number 10, you can see for the meaning like Cygnus. Cygnus means gentlemen, and rich burghers. Burghers means important citizens. And on the flood, flood here means sea. Okay, now see that during that time, during 16th century, this play was written by Shakespeare. So there was a difference in the English that was used during that time and the English that we speak now. Okay, so you have to understand such kind of language in this way only. Okay, so what he said that your mind would be surely thinking of the ocean there where your aragizes with portly sail, that there on the ocean where your stately big commercial ships are sailing. And how they are sailing? They are sailing like Cygnus and rich burghers on the flood. Cygnus means that is where your ships are sailing like gentlemen and rich burgher and like important citizens on the sea, or as it were the patience of the sea. And then he say that, or if I say that it were, what were, that is your ships when they sail on the sea. So how do they look like? They look like as if they are the possession of the sea. Possession means wealth. Okay, so here he said, now he's comparing his ship, that is when your ship sails there on the sea, so they are so big, so that looks very attractive, very good. And in what way do they look like? They look like the important citizens, they look like the gentlemen on the sea. Oh, okay. And then he said that is, and or as it were, or your ships which are there, they seem to be as if they are the possessions of the sea. Do overpeer the petty traffickers. And then what he said, do overpeer. Point number 12, you can see for the meaning, overpeer, that means surpass. And petty traffickers, that means small commercial boats. Okay, now what he says, that is do overpeer the petty traffickers, that is when your ships which are there, your big ships which are there, commercial ships, when they sail, so they surpass all the small boats, small commercial boats. And that courtesy to them, do them reverence. And then courtesy is given, that means bow in respect. And how do they look like? That when your big commercial ship is there, when it pass the other small boats, it's seem to be, it looks like as if they are giving respect. Okay, that is they are bowing in respect to your ship. And it is given, and as they fly by them with their woven wings. So you can see for other side, point number 13, that move up and down as if they are showing respect. That is when ships move up and down in the sea, so it looks as if when your big commercial ship surpasses, मतलब कि जब आपकी बड़ी शिप छोटी छोटी बोट्स को पास कर जाती है स्पीड से, तो इस तरीके से वो ऊपर नीचे लहरों पे चलती है। ऐसा लगता है कि जो स्मॉल बोट्स हैं, जो छोटी छोटी बोट्स हैं, वो आपकी शिप्स को क्या कर रही हैं? दे आर गिविंग रिस्पेक्ट टू योर शिप्स। ओके, एंड as they fly by them with their woven wings, that is as they fly by them means fly is given, point number 14, that speed past, मतलब कि जब वो तेजी से उनसे आगे निकल जाती है with the canvas sails, so it seems as if small boats are giving respect, they are showing respect to your big commercial ships. Okay, dear children, now we have completed till here one page, as it is a first day, so I will teach up to here only, but you listen this explanation at least 2 to 4 to 5 times, so that each and every line is clear to you. Understood, children? So listen this, and after this you have to also take out your workbook and see that how questions are given in the workbook from the extracts. Okay, I stop here, and tomorrow this video will be continued. So today we have finished line number 1 to 11, 12, 13, 14. Up to 11 number, line number 14 we have finished. So rest will continue tomorrow. Thank you, dear children.